that for you.
It's just trash.
Woo!
Oh,
Woo!
woohoo! Man, I did not realize we were so excited about this.
We're
Hey, Internet.
podcasting.
I'm always excited to be on the podcast.
We're on the internet.
I'm just glad to be here.
We made it.
We're glad you're here too,
You're
Mackie.
here.
I am here.
Mackie's here.
Hey, everybody. Mackie's here.
It's been 750 years.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
It's only been 2 weeks.
Oh, shit, I got a tweet.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
What? It just dawned on you, huh?
It did, yeah. I was
Oh
like,
my God.
shit, we're online. No one knows. How do I make people
Well, unless they
know?
rang that bell or something.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
Does that even work anymore?
I don't know.
Or has
I
YouTube
think they
disabled
nerfed
that
it.
as well?
They're like, the bell means nothing.
Yeah.
Ring it if you want, but who cares?
I mean, I get notifications when we go live via email. And my little notification thing at the top turns red.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm on YouTube, like,
I don't follow us,
Hey.
so I never see if it shows up or
well,
not.
you know.
Yeah, I have notifications turned off. I mean, I have them turned on for the podcast, but I think I don't know. Do I have the bell rung? No bell.
Oh, I'm surprised for
Yes,
that.
bell. Okay. Bell. Top chat, live chat, doop, pop out chat,
Pop out the chat.
Snapchat, tweet deck, hot tweets, tweet.
I'm refreshing, looking for that hot tweet.
I'm waiting to. I got it. There.
Okay.
Give me the tweet.
I tweeted.
Give me the tweet, Chuck.
Aw.
Give me the tweet.
There it is.
Give it to me. Give me.
God,
Tweets.
I hate that on Letterboxd, all of our movies, the most popular review is by Todd Gaines, who is like the worst fucking reviewer on earth.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
Who is Todd Gaines? And can
He's
we
just like
talk shit
some
about him?
Letterbox dude, you know, like there are people who are Letterbox famous or whatever the fuck it is, or I should say
That's-
Letterbox popular.
That's his thing. Is he does letterboxed
Yeah,
reviews?
but the reviews are just trash. It'll just be a sentence like, "Chuck Norris fights karate."
Oh, great.
Something, something,
Oh,
something.
he's one of those
Detectives
people.
tracking down coke. It's like they're not even reviews. They're just like
It's a plot summary.
dying with a serious sombrero on. A scanner cop steals Chuck's heart,
Oh, it's sentence
teaching your son a
fragments.
valuable lesson.
That's the Joe Bob Briggs thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
So so
But
this
Joe
guy
Bob has
is
a
not
TV
even
show.
Like,
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He's actually famous.
Yeah.
Perhaps
He's
that man has
genre
seen,
famous.
That man has seen thousands of movies, and this is by far the worst. I'm gonna forget what movie that was a review on, and then like 2 years from now, I'm still gonna be laughing at that.
Yeah. It was whatever last
I
week's
know,
movie
whatever
was.
extras. Was it the main one or no? It was extra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did we watch last week?
Uh,
We thought it was all right. Shit.
It must
wait,
have been
what
great.
happened?
this review on IMDb. I told Chuck, I was like, whenever you see a 1-star review, click on that person's name and see what else they reviewed. And this person's review started with, "I have seen thousands of movies, and this is by far the worst."
Mm-hmm.
And I clicked on it, on his name, and he's reviewed one other movie that he gave. Well, it's not 5 stars, but
Project Shadow Chaser.
Project Shadow Chaser. Yeah.
Project Shadow Chaser.
And one of his only other
That's a good
review
name
was
for a
was
movie.
was nine stars on Mr. Right.
Mr. Right.
That Sam Rockwell, Anna Kendrick thing.
Yeah.
So he has seen thousands of movies, but felt the need to review 2. One is near perfect.
I enjoy going through people's letterbox, like the people who give like Alien 1 star,
Yeah.
like earnestly, or not like whatever. Like when you read it and they're like, I don't understand what's going on here. This is stupid. Like, and then you look at just like what they've given 5 stars to, and like Saw 4, 5 star, and it's just like,
Bratz,
what
the
kind
movie.
of that's always my fascinating thing is like finding out like what movies these people love and what movies these people think are trash.
Yeah,
and, like and just going, how could this exist?
Yeah, you try to
like,
figure out like what weird experiment this brain grew in.
Yeah.
Like how do you like what everyone hates and vice versa? Not ironically, but just like legit. Like man, I fucking love Bratz the movie, but Aliens.
The
can
most
eat a
fascinating
dick.
ones to me are the ones that are just like the Marvel movies are the death knell of entertainment.
Yep.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity.
Some dude like opening day, like when the movie let out, I hopped on Letterboxd and just like 9,000 words about how this is the end of cinema.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
Yeah. Here's this guy. Yeah, this guy's review for
Okay.
Project Shadow Chaser.
Yeah.
William Elsley.
Elsley.
I have seen thousands of films, and this is by far the worst. It is a straight cross between Die Hard and Terminator, and also Demolition Man.
Yep.
And it makes no sense of either storyline.
The movie makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. Apparently, I'm just skipping a lot. It's like, apparently, there are sequels. ... Why? It's not even an exclamation point, or it's an exclamation point, not a question mark. Why? I don't know how you say why and not have it sound like a question.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd give it 0 stars if I could.
I love
Oh
that.
wait, here's the even better line.
This needs one of those like typography readings.
This is not a B movie. It is a C movie for crap.
Boom.
That
Yeah.
is one clever son of a
Roasted.
bitch.
Roasted. And then, like I said, you click on his name, and the only other review is for Mr. Right.
Mr. Right.
This is a wonderful film.
So
with
thousands
all
of
you
movies-
need for entertaining dark comedy.
And the only two that have prompted a response on
Yeah.
IMDb
Yeah.
are Project Shadow Chaser and Mr. Right.
Yep.
Correct. Yes.
That's not even a good baseline. Like you can't even figure out like, wait, what movies do you
Oh, wait,
like?
Product
he has
Shadow
a list.
Chaser
He has a
was-
list.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a
Some
list.
of my favorite movies, all genres, no order. Number 1, Meet Joe Black.
Oh, he's all right.
No, he's not.
That scene where he bounces around like a fucking beach ball.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But aside from that,
Yeah, this guy makes no sense. Oh, Porky's 2, the next day, is on this list of 20. There's 20 favorite movies.
What?
Well, favorite. Okay, favorite. You gotta.
Wait, was
give it a
Porky's
little
not
bit
on the list?
No,
Porky's 2. The
Correct.
next day.
this guy's also British because he put a U in favorite.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
yeah, doesn't it?
I guess the Brits have
That
time
bitch
to
doesn't
watch,
even have good teeth. He can't
Yeah.
talk shit.
The Brits have time to watch Meet Joe Black, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Nobody else does.
Oh.
I like that he has Schindler's List followed by Flashdance.
Yeah, well, you know.
No particular order.
No particular order.
Just whatever came to
yeah,
mind.
just
I
stream
like
of
these.
consciousness.
I like Porky's 2. I like
Yeah, what leads
yeah.
from Porky's to Schindler's List to
Yeah.
Flashdance?
I too,
Well, there
Mr.
was-
Schindler, have
yeah,
made a list.
Schindler and Flashdance.
And on this list
Is
both-
Schindler's
Porky's
List.
2.
Schindler and Flashdance both had shower scenes, if I recall.
Porky's.
No. Get out.
Oh man.
Wow. You offended Harlow.
Oh, Jesus.
That's amazing.
Aren't you glad I'm back?
How did that happen?
I'm trying to find connections here, man.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just ask
Just
a question.
saying.
yeah. Look it up.
Christ.
It's all there.
Boy.
Porky's fucking 2.
I'm usually the kind of person that's like
Or-
these days anyway that
Yeah.
like I'll allow people their their phrases or whatever, but for some reason just saying is one of those that has dug a hole into my brain and filled it with rage.
Well, sure, because it's usually followed by the most offensive thing you've ever heard.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
It's like when you start with, I don't mean any offense, but
Mm-hmm.
you're a queer mo. You know, it's
Look,
like,
look, I'm
it's like,
not.
whoa, hold
I'm
on.
not racist, but
yeah, exactly.
anything
Yeah,
that follows.
nothing that ever
Everything that
follows
follows is
good.
horribly racist.
I'm not racist, but I think all people are equal.
That's a proper usage, yeah.
Oh,
You did it.
yeah.
You defeated it.
There's one sentence.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the one sentence you could say that with.
It's a nice T-shirt you got there, by the way. Harvey Lopez. Oh. Your Retro Jacks T-shirt.
Retro Jacks. It's got some pink on it. I like pink. It's my
Did you do
favorite
VIP?
color. No, I just bought a shirt.
Oh.
Pink as the bing on your cherry.
Let me tell you, that swag bag was bullshit.
Was it?
It was like 5 business cards.
Did it have one of those little Marco pinball things?
Yeah.
Did it? Bring it to me.
Okay.
What, that little thing to hold your wires or whatever?
I don't know.
Thingy? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, bring
Well,
it.
it's usually like a disc, and then you fold it
Yeah.
out, and it's a
Yeah.
wire holder thing.
Right.
I don't think I got the one of those. Maybe I threw it away. I don't remember.
Possibly.
No, I
Or no,
I
what,
mean, it
no, what
looks
I'm,
like garbage.
What I'm thinking of is there was a Tilt Amusements like key tag or something that looks
Yes.
like it was carved out of a dead
like-
pinball machine.
yeah, it's like acrylic.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But it looked like it was like hand carved out of acrylic, like it wasn't done with a router or anything.
Right,
Like
yeah.
that.
Somebody
You
with a
actually-
fucking pocket knife
yeah,
before
no, like
the show,
the edges were
scratching
all
it.
fucked.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know what the fuck somebody
just whittling some of these for this swag bag.
did. Like
Well,
Whittling some keychains.
whittling in
Swag
the
bag.
water.
it was not good.
Yeah.
Swag bag.
Yeah, the swag fucking sucks.
But I thought those Marco pinball things were like real dumb. The ones with the little alligator clip. But I
Which one did we get that at?
Probably Sviggy.
One I did not go to because I didn't get that.
Okay.
no, it was
I'm trying to figure out how you
Game
say
Warp?
SFGE is an acronym.
Sviggy.
Sviggy.
Game Warp, maybe.
Might have been
It was
Game Warp.
one way early.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Game Warp where we got like the first time like Microsoft and PlayStation showed up and we got all the dumb shit?
That was the first time we went to Atlanta.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I still have the PlayStation Yo-Yo.
Yeah. I saw my PS4 or they might be PS Vita dog tags,
Yes, I think they were.
Yeah, because
which now you can actually properly use them. You can
Right.
be like, oh, I found a dead Vita.
uh-huh.
R.I.P. Vita.
Yeah, because the PS4 people were there selling it, and the Xbox people just had kiosks and weren't paying attention to shit. They were just like, you can play Halo, I guess.
Yeah.
Xbox One fucking sucks.
Yeah. Play all of our exclusives. Oh wait,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
we got Rise and Recore and
That's
other
true. They had Rise, so that you could
Rise.
play Rise, Son of Rome.
And, they also have Zoo Tycoon. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
Zootycoon.
Zooty
all those hot exclusives.
Walmart exclusive.
Zooty
Not anymore.
Zootycoon.
It's
Yeah, you
no
can buy it
longer
anywhere now.
exclusive. All right. Well, shall we do a podcast thing?
I would like to podcast.
Swell.
Yes, that will get me off Letterboxd reading these people's reviews that are just
Making you angry.
Should definitely
like,
read the ones on IMDb.
how
They're
can
so
you
much
have
better.
seen thousands
thousands
of movies
Thousands.
and be bad at watching them?
I know.
Like just genuinely bad at watching and analyzing them
Yeah.
and understanding.
I will fully admit, like, when I review a movie, I'm like, look, I can recognize this is good. I'm saying I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, I will usually do that if I'm going to write it down.
Especially if it's like, if you come to a movie that is beloved, but you come to it too late, and you're just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't see what people see in this.
I mean,
Don't be a dick about it.
it's just like I was talking about The Master. You know, it's like, look, I recognize this is probably an excellently made movie because it's Paul Thomas Anderson. However, I never, ever, ever want to watch this movie ever again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean, there's depth to be mined there.
Sure.
I don't
I don't want.
I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like putting in the work.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was an unpleasant experience the first time. I can't imagine it got better. Yeah, so I was saying, but I would not be like, this is a terrible movie. No,
Yeah, just not everything's for
just
you.
not for me.
So,
So,
real quick before we start,
All right.
all right,
should we do a John Wick thing after seeing John Wick?
we
that's the
talked
plan.
about. We're probably not doing an extra this week. We're just gonna.
We were just going to
spoilcast
record that for extra.
I might join you for that
That would be swell.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
I did have a friend who's like, I feel really bad about this, but he's like, man, I really wanted to hear Mackey's thoughts on whatever it was, one of the extra episodes.
Mhm.
And he's like, and I turned it on, you weren't on there. So I didn't listen to it. I'm like, I appreciate that, but yeah, I'm never on extra.
You've never set a precedent of being on extra.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So, but he's also one of those people who's like, if he hasn't heard of the movie, he's probably not going to listen to the episode.
Right.
Which means he's not going to listen to any episodes like in the past 2 years.
Well,
We've done some movies that.
we have.
Yeah, who
done
knows?
some
He's
movies.
probably seen Project Shadow Chaser. So
Okay.
he's like,
People should.
People should. They really
you
should.
guys seemed really high on it. I haven't listened to the episode, but your social media presence on it says I should watch Project Shadow Chaser.
It's our brand of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it
I
really
get
is. It's a $12 movie that's really going for it.
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
And that android dude is a pretty good android dude.
Yep. Especially when he androids out and just.
Yeah. Yeah. Something happens in the movie where he gets damaged, and then every motion is coupled with a.
Yeah. Yeah. Servos to the max.
I like it.
It's really
servos to the max.
Toss that snark in.
Yeah. Servos to
just
the max.
Throw that snark sauce all over it.
Saucy. I'm ready.
All right. I was letting you get all your sauce out. Nope.
Nope.
That was shit.
Nope.
After all that warm up too. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Wow, jeez, guys. It's episode 467.
Yeah, that's the weed number. That's why we're excited.
Yeah.
We're high on weed.
Sure.
I don't know.
No.
No.
Angel dust.
Oh, right.
Oh.
That's the angel dust number.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here at BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Then we come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then they get ratings. You know what? Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1.5 jocks and robot jocks.
That's how that works.
Uh-huh.
I love robot jocks.
It's pretty good.
We all do.
We really
That's
like
why
it.
we built a rating system around it.
Correct.
Yeah. However, there are bad movies, and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, and giant bags of trash.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
We don't like them.
A 5 bag is like a 1, and 5 jocks is like a 10. So it's really just a scale of 10. We got clever
Yeah,
with it.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
away the secret.
Now everyone's going to copy us.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now there's going to be all these movie podcasts.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to
I
think
mean,
of it as-
IMDb. Look at it.
Yeah.
They completely ripped off our system for
true.
rating movies.
It really is. So you know what? We're deep in the middle of force majeure.
Yeah.
we are somehow.
Because we are the kings of dumb theme months.
This was pretty good. though.
Hooray!
All movies have force in the title, like this one from 1979. It's called A Force of One.
Yes.
See,
I am more partial to the German title.
Yeah.
Der Bulldozer.
Der Bulldozer.
That's
that is a
pretty good
much
title.
better title.
Yeah. But then we
Maybe
wouldn't
not
be able
fitting,
to
but-
watch it. This
Yeah,
week.
then it is not.
We'd have to save it for Bulldozer
It's not
month.
forced majeure appropriate.
Dozierary.
Bulldozer.
Yes.
I like Dojuary. It's even better.
Dozgust.
Yeah.
Would you like a plot summary?
yes.
I would love
I
one.
know you.
I
keep
know this
making-
one's good.
Yeah, this one's good. When the detectives of an undercover police unit are being mysteriously killed by a martial artist, a professional kickboxer is hired to assist him. That kickboxer? One Mr. Chuck Norris.
There we go.
Yeah. I like whoever wrote that. Good on you.
Oh, it's so good they put it on Amazon.
Oh.
That's the Amazon description.
Yeah. It would make
We
me
saw
watch
it when we watched it because it's on Prime. Just so you know, if you want to go watch this.
Yeah, you should totally go watch it.
The sound mix is shit, but the
It is,
movie
yeah.
movie itself looks really good.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, just be prepared to turn your stereo way the fuck up or whatever listening device you have it on, because my stereo usually is on like 50, and we had to turn it up to I don't know if it was 70 or 80 by the time it was done. So
Yeah, all the dialogue's in the background.
Yep.
The Foley track is prominent.
oh yeah,
One of those.
Yeah. So we got some alums,
we do.
famous people, BMFcast elites.
Who's got that ready to go?
I have that information in front of me.
Aw,
Director Paul Aaron from Deadly Force.
wait,
Last week's movie.
That was
Oh.
last week's movie.
Deadly Force.
huh?
Wait, is it
Paul Aaron.
Aaron?
Aaron.
Mayron.
Mayron.
That's
There
right,
it is.
yes. Just
Mark
a,
Mayron.
literally a coincidence. I had
Okay.
no idea.
Bit of trivia about director Paul A. Aaron.
Uh-huh.
He is Keanu Reeves' stepfather,
Yeah.
and he agreed to take the role of director because his stepson wanted to see him direct a kung fu movie.
Yeah.
Would that be
So-
Keanu?
Thanks,
Yes.
Keanu.
So at some points, Keanu probably told him, "You're not my real dad, A.A. Ron."
Yes.
Well, that's his last name, so
Yeah.
he probably said Paul.
Oh.
Which a single
He's
syllable
not my
name
real
like
dad.
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, you can really put some sauce on that.
Paul.
He was like, "You should make a kung fu movie because I know kung fu."
Right.
Oh, he didn't yet. He had to
did
learn.
this-
Oh,
he
he
learned
did
it
then.
from this.
Yeah,
No, he had to get it programmed in. I watched it.
It was ready.
Oh,
yeah. It's a whole Matrix time travel thing.
It makes sense.
Anyway, this was also written by BMFcast alum Ernest Tidyman from Shaft and Shaft's Big Score, and this was Ernest Tidyman's final writing credit, I believe. No surprise to anyone, this movie has Chuck motherfucking Norris in it from Lone Wolf McQuaid, The Delta Force, Invasion USA, Top Dog, and extra movies Delta Force 2 and Silent Rage. And I have no idea how you actually pronounce this guy's name, so I'm going to pronounce it how I like it, which is Klugelager.
I'm sorry.
Of
Excuse
the
you?
hidden Clue Gallagher.
Oh,
Gallagher.
Yeah. Yes. I know Klugulager is wrong because people I know have said it wrong for years. I know that's not it. So
Okay.
it's Klugulager.
Klugulager.
Yes. Klugulager.
Klugulager.
Yes.
Also,
What was he in?
The Hidden.
Okay.
Right.
Also, Ron O'Neal from Original Gangstas. Bill Superfoot Wallace from L.A. Street Fighters. And Eric LaNouville from Black Belt Jones.
Yeah. Ron O'Neal, I mean, Superfly. That's,
Yeah,
I mean, well, Priest, but the movie's Superfly and Superfly TNT, but we have not covered those, nor will we, because they're dramas.
They're drama. Yeah. They're
not,
very.
They're not our kind of blaxploitation
No,
movies.
they're life on the street. Hey, you want to buy some drugs movies?
Great posters, though.
Yes.
Amazing soundtrack.
Posters really
Yes.
make you want to watch them.
Yes.
Yeah. All those things.
I own the Superfly soundtrack on vinyl. That's how good it is. Curtis Mayfield. Wow. He's a legend. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Der Bulldozer.
Uh huh.
Dabble Dozer.
Fuck. How did this movie start? Was it the two people just like, hey,
Cops
yeah.
watching
Two
that
cops,
kid
yeah.
on a skateboard.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And it's Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, A Force of One is a Christmas movie.
It is.
Hashtag.
Then it kind of becomes a New Year's movie for a second, but anyway.
But yeah, there's kids on a skateboard, and there are cops tailing him, obviously, for reasons we don't know, but
Yeah.
cops have their reasons.
It's the drugs.
yeah.
I mean, I will say
It's always the drugs.
it's interesting that they have a long tracking shot of this kid on a skateboard. I mean, it's like while the credits are happening, but it's like
He is bad at skateboarding.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just a car shot, but they're just following this kid on a skateboard, and yeah, he's doing drug things, and these two cops are like, "Hey, let's bust this kid," and the younger of the two cops is like, "No, we need a warrant and call out for backup, and the lieutenant's gonna have our ass and all that kind of standard cop stuff."
And the old timer's like, you kids with your
Yeah.
warrants, come on, let's just do it.
They want to go into. They're like, this kid's gonna go into the department store, and so they want to go into the department store, and that's what they need to get a warrant for. And they're like, we don't even need to radio in. We're just gonna go. Doesn't matter if anybody knows where we are, or what we're doing, or how we're doing it, or
All the
any of
cops in
that.
this movie are bad about calling in. Just don't do it.
This is probably the movie that set the precedent for
Yeah.
radioing in what you're doing.
Right. They have to watch this movie and then go,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But
or
yeah,
you
they're-
will end up dead.
But I guess they lose the kid because he gets on like a van. Well, no, they follow the van, and then they get to a sporting goods store, and then they're suddenly in the sporting goods store rummaging through everything.
Yeah.
And the younger of the two cops. I mean, I'm not gonna say rookie because he's a detective, but he's acting like a first year rookie. But he's just like, oh, look at these gloves. These gloves are great, man. Oh, these gloves got $55. Who pays $50? He's just jabbering the whole time while the other guy is like going through these like ski jackets. And ends up like I guess he was patting it down, and he's like, "Wait a second!" And he cuts it open and is like digging through the down feathers, and then like, "Oh look, drugs!"
Drugs.
But then suddenly,
Yeah.
Suddenly, ninja.
A mannequin that has been in the shot literally the entire time.
yeah, because this is just a static shot of him searching everything while the other guy's off screen just blabbering away about ski clothes.
This mannequin is a ninja. And he fucks these dudes up.
Yep.
He kills them.
He crushes their windpipes, their tracheas.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's cops fishing them out of the river.
Yep.
Because like they went in the river with their car, and
And they have a meeting, and they're like, so, doctor, how'd they die? And the doctor's like, hey, they got crushed.
They got karate to death. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
well, he eventually gets to. Well, no, nobody comes to that except for
No.
Lady Cop eventually.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, okay, was this like a bar fight? Because these are capable dudes. Like, did they just stand there and get beat to death? And you're like, what about a weapon? And they're like, weapon unknown. And finally, Lady Cop, who's in the back, is just like, maybe it was like a martial artist or something. And they're like, shut up, Lady Cop. This is the 70s. You don't get to talk.
It's the stupidest
And then,
idea
and then they're
ever.
like, actually, that's the only actual theory we have so far. So yeah, listen to her.
check it out.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, the way it works, the other guy has to repeat it, and everyone goes, "Yeah, that makes a lot of sense."
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, they,
they're like, we should find a karate
let's
guy.
find a karate man.
And then it's cut to Chuck Norris in the middle of a tournament fight, and we get to watch the whole fucking fight.
We sure do.
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes of fight.
But guess what? Chuck Norris wins.
Oh, that's such a surprise.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
it's weird because the first time it goes, it's slow motion, but it's 70s faked slow motion. Like
Yeah.
it's weird because like it's very clear when you get bad slow motion in like the 90s. This is like weird because it almost looks right. It's just there's just not enough frames because
Right.
they just continue shooting the film in 24 frames, and then they're like, let's play it back at 12. But the first time it goes slow motion, it's like Chuck Norris getting his ass kicked, which is kind of weird. That's like your first bit of like slow down, like, ooh, look at this. And
Yeah, he's definitely vulnerable in this fight. I mean, he's not an untouchable karate man. Like
He's not Chuck Norris yet.
no.
I mean, he had to pretty
getting
much
there.
start working for Canon before he really became
Lone Wolf
the Chuck
McQuade
Norris. Yeah.
is the line of demarcation of this is when Chuck Norris became Chuck Norris.
Right.
This is when you pour beer on your head and you scream at your truck and you could drive out of a hole that you've been buried in. Everything before that is just like, yeah, he's a karate man. I don't know. And honestly, this movie feels everything that Chuck Norris does in this just feels like he should have been playing himself. Like they should have just like, hey, Chuck Norris is in town. Let's go watch him fight. Let's ask him if he'll help us do stuff. There's really not much reason for him to be a fictional character except for his son that he has. Mm-hmm. That obviously is not his kid, but anyway, so like he has the fight. The fight goes on forever, and then it cuts to him in his karate studio fighting a little girl.
It's actually there's a lot of not great filmmaking in this. Sorry, Keanu's stepdad, but like I'm just saying, like,
hey, look, Deadly Force was not great in filmmaking, so
right?
we've already
Well,
trashed
I
this
just
man.
I mean, like, there's some interesting things done, and then it's like, I don't know if it's the editing that fails it, because I mean, I guess they were just trying to stretch the movie out for running time, but.
Yes.
One clever thing they do is, and maybe it's just because the Foley track is cranked to hell in this, is that you get the crowd going nuts from the end of this fight right into kids screaming doing karate.
Right.
And it's a good audio transition because it's just a straight, like, it's like, you just like pitch change, and all of a sudden these kids are just going ape shit, like little like 5-year-old kids are going ape shit doing karate. And yeah, it's Chuck Norris like sparring with this little girl.
Manhandling a 6-year-old.
I mean, he's basically just got her by the shoulders and is like letting her try to do like the takedown leg sweep thing until like she eventually applies enough force and he takes a fall to like make her feel better.
And then he gets up and he snaps her in half.
Pours beer on his head and then
Yeah.
snaps her.
Right.
And drinks her spinal fluid, kicks her mom in the face. It's a weird movie.
All those things.
It is.
But yeah, it's the cops have showed up to recruit a karate man so that they can get some,
And they heard about this one, and he's all right. So help us out, karate man.
Yeah, so it's talk to him, and it's like, yeah, we suspect this, because like they're keeping a tight lid on like how these cops died or that cops even died.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, we want to talk to you because we think we should have some self-defense training in martial arts. What do you say?
That's
And-
the pretense they use,
Right.
And that's weird because that's like kind of the bulk of what he's doing.
right.
But Lady Cop also takes him to show him the sights.
Well, I mean, not just do they meet him here, but they take him like down to the precinct, and it's like, let's show him around, and they, the lieutenant
They're
comes
trying
out.
to convince him, like, yeah, we have a bad drug problem in this
Yeah.
city,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's just a little town, but look how many drugs we've confiscated just in the last month. that
yeah,
we're
look
about-
at these 2 boxes of drugs.
Yeah, because they're like sealing them up in evidence boxes that they're going to take to the incinerator and
In like
roast-
a week.
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense. Like, just take it now. What are you doing?
paperwork.
I know. But yeah, so they have 2 boxes of drugs, and they just go through all the drugs that they have, like angel dust and
14 kilos of cocaine.
yeah. Yes.
Heroin, actually.
Heroin,
Yeah,
yeah, sorry. 14 kilos of heroin.
Right.
It was like 5 kilos of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
but,
shit.
I mean, they basically like by the end they're like it's $1 million worth of drugs or whatever.
Yes.
Did we mention they keep calling him Karate Man?
They-
Because they keep calling him Karate Man.
Yeah,
do.
they introduce him like, hey, this is Matt Logan. He's a karate man.
He's
They're
a
like,
karate man.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you, karate man. And
That's what's on his business card.
Right. Matt Logan, Karate Man. And I think even Chuck Norris says like he's a karate man or
Sure.
something like that. It's weird.
I don't think he would have done the role if it wasn't accurate.
Sure.
but
He has integrity.
they
like-
go around the station and we see all the other detectives that haven't died stupidly in the first scene.
Yes.
and they're all just kind of like, hey, what's up, karate man? Yeah, okay. And then Lady Cop like takes him on a journey, like let's
Not that kind of journey.
Yeah,
No. He's
like drives around and like because
you don't understand how much drugs. Let's go
Yeah.
really check
Well,
out some shit.
they dropped it like, look, we want us to go, our cops to go through, martial arts training, and he's like, I can't. I've got my school I'm running, plus I'm training for a tournament.
Yeah.
You know,
The championship fight, like
I
in a
just
week.
can't, like, and she's like, oh, okay, well, let's make one more stop by this hotel.
It's funny because she's like, no, you need to understand the drug problem. He's like, I understand drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And then tells a whole monologue about how the mother of his child died of an overdose, and it was this kid. It's real confusing at
not
first because
his child. I mean, by law, he
Yeah.
adopted this child.
Right.
But at first, you're just like, wait, why did you have sex with a drug addict? I don't understand. But then it's
right.
just like, she was this lady who had a 7-year-old kid, and the kid really wanted to do karate, so she brought him in. And then one day she turned up dead, and he adopted the kid. But he's like, look, I understand drugs, okay? I don't like them. Here's why I don't like them. And she's like, yeah, well, come check this shit out.
Yeah. Takes him to this hotel, and the desk clerk guy's like, oh, God damn it, you again.
It's
G.W. Bailey.
Yeah.
From the police academies. And Mannequin.
Well, I don't think we ever saw anything but the back of his head. I didn't recognize
He
him.
turns around,
For like half a
watching him
second.
go up the stairs before
Okay.
he makes his phone call
Yeah.
to call the pimp.
Right.
Because, they go upstairs, and there's a gross old dude feeling up a child.
a 15-year-old, as we
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
And
And
that dude to me is like, what? Whoop.
Literally runs out of the room.
Yeah, this isn't where I park my car, and leaves.
Right.
And then she's just like, no, don't arrest me. And the lady cop's just like, did you go down to the clinic yet? And she's like, I'm going tomorrow. And she's like, let me see your arm. And she's just got track marks all over her arm. And
Chuck Norris is like, oh, my God.
yeah,
And then Guido the Killer Pimp shows up. And this man might have been an actual pimp because he is not an actor. He's just like,
No.
hey, why are you, get out of this
Both
room.
of you and you, get out. Leave now.
And Chuck Norris beats his
well,
ass.
because he pulls out the switchblade,
switchblade,
yes.
which not shown in England.
Nope.
And-
So,
or
you
no, is
have-
that just
so in
butterfly?
England, you have no idea
Wait,
why
can
this
you do-
fight started.
Can they do switchblades? Not butterfly knives. Which is it? Or both?
Butterfly knives.
Butterfly
Butterfly knives.
Okay.
Might be both.
Well,
Actually.
it's probably
I think
both.
it is, yeah.
Any kind of like concealable blade.
Any
I guess.
blade that comes out of something.
Right. But yeah, he just he produces a switchblade, and then Chuck Norris is like, nope, and kicks that dude into oblivion. They handcuff him
He
to the
kicks
bed.
the shit out
Yeah.
of that dude. Like,
does.
for real kicks the shit. He was probably a karate man as well.
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe an actual drug dealer. They were just like,
Could be.
hey, you want an extra part in this movie?
Yeah.
And they kick the shit out of him. For
Kick the
America.
shit out of you.
But yeah, they handcuff him to the bed, and you're like, yep, all right, bye.
You better go to the clinic, young lady. And then for like the next minute, she's like, Guido, why are you so not alive?
Yeah, they leave the room and start like walking towards the exit of the hotel.
Yeah.
And for a solid 60 to 90 seconds, we can still hear
Yeah.
the 15-year-old prostitute screaming about the drug pimp.
Yes.
But then he's like, well, that sucks and all, but I can't do it. I'm too busy. And she's like, well, that's too bad. And then he goes back to his gym,
He does.
talks to his secretary, Harriet, who is always eating.
Always
Every
eating.
scene, she's eating something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we meet Charlie, his adopted kid.
Who does not want to be called Charles.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And
He's the dude from Black Belt Jones.
yeah, we get a little interaction with them, and he's just like, oh, because like the Harriet, he's like, oh yeah, you missed your training, blah blah blah. Why don't you get in there and train? Because you have a fight in like a week, and she's just, I guess she's like, his
She's very much
motivation.
the wet blanket
Yeah.
of just like, no, Chuck Norris, you cannot do anything. You have to train. And he's like, all right, fine.
Yeah, but he goes and like hits his like speed bag thing for a while, and has flashes of all the things we've just seen. The
All
drugs.
two things.
Yeah.
The two things are cop cavalierly, yes, throwing up a bag of drugs out of the drug depot that they were in. He keeps seeing that over and over again, and the camera shot of the track marks on the girl's arm.
Yep.
And these are the two things that motivate him to just be like, this bag is now drugs, and I will punch it to
Yeah,
death.
because like we go right from that the cross cuts of him punching this thing to him on the phone like, all right, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And Harriet walks in and is like, oh, really? Come on.
Yeah, crunch as
Yeah.
she eats another thing, whatever she's eating.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then is it like right on to training the cops for the first time?
I think. So I think the cops are at the station, kind of bitching about it, like, why we're expert marksmen, this is bullshit, and then it's like, how come Orlando and Tomahawk don't have to do this or whatever? And
that's their name.
I don't know, but
it's Orlando and Magic.
okay, yeah, that okay. One of them was named Orlando. I
Yeah,
remember
I know that. Yes.
And they're
I've
just
been
like,
there.
they're just like, they were onto something, but we don't know where they are. So this is the second pair of cops who haven't called in, who are literally about to get dead because of it.
Yeah, they follow the same skateboarder dude and end up at the same hardware place.
Yes.
Well, because like they start off, this is why I was saying it's a Christmas/New Year's, because they're at a Mexican New Year's party, like street party thing
Under a bridge.
under a bridge, and like the one
But
dude,
they're disguised as like the one guy's disguised as like a balloon vendor.
yeah, with like like 7 sombreros on his head. He's
He's
Tchotchke
a balloon
seller, yeah.
and
Yeah.
sombrero
Yeah.
vendor.
Yeah.
So yeah, they end up tailing this guy out of there and follow him back to the sporting goods store and do the same thing, like start to rummage around. This time they find a big melting pot of wax.
Yep. Which a guy just sticks his hand right in.
Yeah, he's just like, "Ow, it's hot," and cries about it for about a minute, and then the other guy's like, "Well, no, actually, I think it's the same guy that sticks his." He's smart enough to understand how drugs work, and not smart enough to know that wax is hot when it's
Right.
melty like that.
Yep.
Because he's like, "Yeah, they do this thing where you can pack cocaine in the wax, and when you heat it up, the cocaine just rises to the surface, and it's a good way to smuggle drugs."
Right.
And the other guy's like, "What? I'm a narcotics officer. I've never heard that."
Pretty much, yes.
But yeah, and then suddenly Ninja, murder comes out of nowhere and murders them.
I like this because the ninja is the cameraman in this shot. Like, you see the cameraman suddenly just move to get another shot, and you're like, wait, what?
Well, this time it wasn't so much a surprise Ninja because as they were walking in, he's like behind the boxes, like
Yeah.
and skulking around, and eventually like goes up the stairs right next to them, and they
Yeah.
somehow don't see him. Like, he's a ninja, so
But why this guy was just hanging out in the storeroom with his ninja outfit on, ready to murder, seems strange.
you got to be ready. I guess.
I
don't
guess
know.
that's true.
Always ready.
Maybe he knew
Ninja sins.
that they were. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but anyway, he goes up the stairs a little bit to jump off the stairs and ninjas
Murders
them
them
to
to death.
or karates them to death. He's wearing a ninja outfit, but
Yep.
this is full of karate men.
Yeah. And then we watch Chuck Norris train the cops.
So. Uh-huh.
And for this just seems like they turned the camera on and said, okay, Mr. Chuck Norris, train these actors to do some karate things, because it's very low key. Like he's just giving advice. He's not really, he's teaching them. It's not scripted.
And it actually works really well, I think, because of that.
It does. And the best part of it is after they spar with each other and do some stuff, then it's like, now Chuck Norris is going to attack all of you.
Right.
And holy God, the looks on all their faces are pure terror.
Yes.
Like, there is no acting involved here. They're just like, oh my God, Chuck Norris is about to punch me to death.
But we also get them like cracking some jokes with each other in between. It's a
Yeah.
honestly really good set
Sure.
of scenes, especially because they look fucking terrified when Chuck Norris is them.
He comes at one of them. It's kind of the older pudgy cop, and he just gets a look on his face like, no, 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 no.
Well, he was also like the naysayer, the most naysayer
Yes.
of like, I don't want to do this
Yes.
karate shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then like immediately, Lady Cop is like they seem like they're about to make plans for afterwards, and then she gets a phone call of like dead partners or whatever they are,
Right.
And so she has to leave suddenly, and it's for some reason Chuck Norris goes with her to like they've this time again because like they have this thing they murder him in this sports warehouse or sporting goods warehouse,
They dump him
and then
somewhere
dump
else.
him somewhere. So they've taken him back to the underpass where they were having this New Year's thing,
Yeah.
and like
Put 'em back in their outfits,
Yeah, put them
yeah.
back in their outfits and like just lean him up against a pylon or whatever.
Yeah.
The one guy's even still got his balloons like. It's silly.
Yeah.
Well,
Silly.
I mean, they made a point of showing why because they brought the balloons with them into the car because the one guy's
Right.
like, "How did you bring the? Just
Just
let him
let 'em
go."
go.
Like,
Idiot.
you see up. Anyway,
Yeah. So then Chuck Norris goes back to her house with her, and they sit by the roaring fire, and she is very upset, and he is like, tell me what to do.
do you want to like go somewhere?
Yeah.
like
Do
walks
you
on
want
the
to go
beach?
for a romantic walk on the beach
Yeah.
now that your coworkers have been murdered?
Would sex help your sadness?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do here. And she's just like,
This is beyond Chuck Norris's range.
yeah, Chuck Norris is confused. Help Chuck Norris. Nothing comes from that.
No.
They do not make the sex.
No. Not that we ever saw in the movie.
Timing
No.
was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
I don't know.
Are you trying to say there's never a bad time?
Yeah.
She got that call at the party they went to, right? Because her pager,
Oh, is that what it was?
her pager went off at the party.
Yeah, I
Because
guess
they were introduced to Spiker or
Yeah,
whatever
I guess
the bad
I guess
guy's
they
name
did.
is.
They,
Wait a
they
minute.
did go to a karate party.
They
It
went-
wasn't straight from the
Yeah.
sparring session. or
we
whatever.
figure out later what this is. Everyone's come to town for the championship fight, so it's a party for all the karate men, basically.
Did she get bad news 2 times? Because there was the. No, he got bad news 1 time.
Right.
right.
I'm so confused.
Yes, he
Yeah.
gets bad news later.
At the,
but this
the restaurant. Okay.
she was talking to the guy who turns out to be the ninja at the party,
Yes.
and that's when her pager goes off, and the bad guy looks at her like she's a space alien. Like, what is that beeping sound? That's when she gets the bad news. So they have to leave that party and go back to her Christmas apartment.
Right. Then we get another sort of exposition scene with Charlie and Chuck Norris are kind of like half-heartedly spar fighting, and then eventually he's just like, "Hey, when are you gonna let me like do some full contact like tournament stuff?" And he's like, "When you're ready."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But I'm ready. I'm good." And then
It's like, all right, show me.
yeah, so he's like, "All right, don't pull any punches. Let's go." And basically, he gets one good
then he-
kick on Chuck Norris, and then Chuck Norris just like punches him in the ribs,
Beats
and he's
the
like,
shit out of him.
"Yeah, oh."
Yeah. And he's just like,
Then they kind of have like a "I'm sorry," thing later. It's
he's like, all right, go hit the showers.
He's like, "How about this? When I finish, this is the kiss of death right here." Because he goes, "How about when I finish this next fight, I'm gonna focus on training you
Yeah.
for an actual tournament."
Yes.
What do you say? And he's like, "All right,
yeah.
deal."
It's like, oh, you were so dead,
Yeah,
kid.
he's very dead.
Yeah. Because they have a scene where Chuck Norris is changing in the locker room, and he's just asking his fellow karate men's, do you think he could be a karate man?
Yeah. Do you think anyone we know could possibly be?
And they're like, nah.
They're like, "Come on, who would be messed up with these drugs and stuff?"
Yeah.
And so Charlie overhears this and takes it upon himself of like, "I'm going to go investigating."
Yeah. Which
'Cause-
he just goes and talks to one dude who was in a fight that we saw earlier. Just asks him, like, hey, what's the dude's name? Striker?
Sure.
Sparks?
Sparks. Yeah.
Sparks.
Hey, where's Sparks at? And he's just like, oh, he's got his own place. He's hanging out.
Well,
in
Sparks
some-
is who he's going to fight in the championship fight.
Right. But he also wants to go just talk to him,
Right.
and he's like, oh, he's at a weird house, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
he's got a private gym down at the end of this road
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
He's just like, hey, thanks for the info.
But no, Chuck Norris hasn't started investigating yet.
No.
Oh no, he's
On-
not. Yeah,
on
he's,
his own, okay.
He's just there for.
No, he
Cop
asked
training.
his friends, like, do you think it's a karate man?
Right.
Yeah,
he does
just the
go to
friends
see
in
his
the-
old Vietnam buddy.
But that's not until after.
No, I think it's concurrent to this.
Yeah.
Is it
Because,
concurrent?
Because
Because
like,
they're
both
both
doing their own-
investigating
okay.
at the
yeah,
same
because
time.
like he's like, I'm going to go talk to some friends, like Nom friends, basically.
Yeah.
And then he's
It's
like,
almost got this like weird. It almost meanders off into a Nom subplot, but
because he goes and sees like pigeon keeper guy, and
Yeah.
he's just like, I don't know, I can't imagine anyone would be messed up in
Well, he's
drugs
like-
and karate.
Which one of us has the capacity to murder? And the guy just rattles off like, well, we all killed everyone in Vietnam. I don't know. Could be all of us.
Yeah, and then
But it's probably not.
but we were in killing,
Yeah.
not murder.
right.
And then he goes and sees he starts jogging up alongside somebody else who we never see. It's literally just guy in like
Guy with
shadow
old
prof-
man voice.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, I need to ask you some questions." He's like, "What's up?" And they're just jogging along the beach, and he's like, "I think someone from Nam is murdering people." This guy just goes like, "Oh no,
Oh,
no!" It's just like I never know who this guy is. It's
Yeah.
just this jogging scene, and he's just like, "Oh no, no!"
Yeah.
And
Yeah. But so his kid goes to the house and hides in the bushes outside this house where, surprise, Ron O'Neal is there with the main bad guy. Just like, hey, thanks for the big box of drugs. And Ron O'Neal's like, you're quite welcome. And then Sparks comes out, like right behind where the kid is.
Well,
After,
the- well,
they,
he's-
After these guys do like
Yeah.
6 lines
yeah,
apiece.
Superfly's been cutting up the cocaine,
Yeah.
for this guy to try,
and they're like, I hear this is bad for your sinuses. Snort.
And like, hey, Sparks, can we get in on this? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, I love cocaine.
Yeah, but then
I actually hate cocaine. I just love the taste of aspirin.
But yeah, Sparks just the kid makes a noise or something, and Sparks is right there, and then they fight.
No, he's like, I'm gonna go. Like he does this line or two of cocaine, and then is gonna go do something.
Yeah.
And the kid's just like listening for way too long. He's got more than enough
Yeah,
information.
he's got all the knowledge.
And then he's like, all right, I guess I should leave. And Sparks is just magically behind him.
Right.
And he's like, you got one chance, kid. Get through me, and I'll let you go.
and he's just basically like, Sparks, how could you? And he's like, yeah, shut up, kid. Let's
yeah,
fight.
he's like, you could turn yourself in, Sparks.
Yeah,
Sparks
yes,
is like,
exactly.
"No."
Nah, I don't think I will
Yeah.
do that. I have too much cocaine in me right now.
I've thought about your offer, and fuck you, kid.
Yeah.
Declined.
Charlie
he's-
gets a couple good hits on him.
Yeah, he's like, but you can fight me,
Yeah.
and maybe you'll get away that way. And no.
No, they end up like they get kicked into a koi pond type thing at one
Sure.
point in time, and then they get out, and because they're all soaking wet and wearing 70s polyester, he's like, I can't fight anymore. So yeah, he basically gets his throat stepped on,
Yeah.
which the cocaine was not, by the way.
Yeah.
Stepped on that.
No.
It was pure.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yes.
And do we even know the name of the actual like guy? Like, I mean, there's Ron O'Neal, there's
Yeah.
Sparks, and then there's like
Sporting goods
dude,
man.
yeah, sporting goods man. And like I don't know that guy ever like got a name, or he definitely never gets any kind of comeuppance that we see. I don't think. But.
No, he's still being held at gunpoint by this.
Oh, true.
By the
That's
assistant.
right. Yes. Okay. So I guess they did catch
He
him.
gets
but-
caught, but
Yeah, that's true.
he really
But,
should have
yeah.
gotten a worse ending.
But yeah, like because he's kind of like, really, like you killed this kid, like.
This is going to be a
fuck.
problem.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem. But
Especially because you're fighting his dad in the championship fight here pretty soon.
yeah, I guess he does know who he is,
Yeah.
but whatever. But like, yeah, they stage that. They put him back in his car, like throw him at the or like push his car off into some ravine or something, and like
Fill him up with drugs.
yeah, they filled him up with drugs, which I don't know how that works when you're dead. Like you're
Maybe he wasn't dead.
Yeah, he was almost dead.
Oh,
And then they
And
pumped
then
him
he's
with
only
drugs.
mostly dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Push-
but yeah,
push him
because
off.
they shot him up with heroin, and then like I guess put track marks on his arm, and then left a needle in the back seat. So they're like, Chuck Norris gets the call and has to like go to the morgue and ID him, and he's like, yeah, his system's full of drugs. He's like, bullshit, kid was clean.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just we found what we found. He's like, and this is where he basically makes it into the police lieutenant is like,
Yes.
I'm going to find the person who did it and murder them.
Yep. And
It
they
doesn't
just
matter
whoever-
what you found.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoever did this is as good as dead.
Yeah.
Yep. And they both just kind of
He's like-
heroically walk out of the room like,
No, he leaves the lieutenant behind. He's just like, he leaves the room, and the lieutenant's
Well,
like, well, should
I guess I'll
do
leave too.
something? Like,
yeah, but
I don't know.
he is not
I-
like, hey,
I'm
that's
not
a crime.
to take on a karate man. He
I
can
think-
do what he wants.
I think threatening someone's life is against a city ordinance of some kind.
It's like
Yeah.
jaywalking. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Just pay a
You're
fine.
definitely not going to arrest Chuck Norris for it.
No.
No.
But then the lady cop comes to try to console him, I think.
Well, they were going to have dinner at a restaurant,
Is that what it...
and she's there waiting for him.
I
And-
thought... No. Fuck. I feel like they had a scene before that, because, like, she was basically like, he's angry punching the punching bag or something again, and she's
Oh,
like...
he's packing up all the photos of his kid,
That's right, yes, because it cut right
Like
to...
2 minutes
like
after
he's
the
taking
kid
the
died.
photo off the wall.
putting it away.
And that's what I said. I was like, well, because I don't need this anymore.
Yeah. So he he's taking his kid's statues. He's just boxing everything up. This is like the same
she
day.
she comes in like to his office and is like, why don't you go work out? You gotta. She goes, you have your tournament tomorrow, and
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Death of a kid isn't a reason to postpone. Like,
might need a day.
like just
Just a day.
throwing that out.
He's
there.
already working on the closure. He's already packed everything up.
I
Yeah.
guess so. But
He's
she's
over
like,
it.
why don't you go train? Get anger out of your system, and then we'll meet for dinner later.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that's So there's that scene, and then
She's there,
Oh, that's okay. That's right.
and then he shows up, but Ninja is there.
right.
Like,
waiting,
sees him coming.
waiting on the rooftop. For him.
Yeah, and just jumps off the roof and kicks him in the face, and they fight.
Oh, and he pulls out nunchucks. The ninja this time.
Yes.
Yeah. He nunchucks
Which-
Chuck.
Which Chuck Norris blocks at one moment with like a big galvanized steel wash tub, and it makes all sorts of good,
Yeah,
satisfying
Yeah,
clanging.
it's like real like metal nunchucks too.
Right.
And this fight ends unbelievably stupidly because basically 2 employees of the restaurant come out with trash, and Ninja looks over, sees them, and just throws their basket of trash up into the air and runs away.
No, he does not. He kicks it out of their hands.
Yes.
But it's like he's got a tray full of like leftover lettuce or
Yeah,
something,
it's just,
some shit.
It's just
Leafy
unused
greens.
lettuce.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 2 gentlemen walk out, and he just kicks this bin, and is just like, Ninja out, and he's gone. And the 2 employees just argue with each other.
Oh, yeah,
as they scoop up the lettuce. And then
Well, we assume
They don't even
know
help
what
scoop
they
up Chuck Norris, do they?
say.
no,
Chuck
no,
Norris just kind of picks himself up.
he goes inside and hangs out in the kitchen and has them bring the lady cop in there. And
Oh wait, we're skipping an important detail. He actually told her to meet him at this restaurant because it's where a bunch of karate men hang
karate
out.
men hang out.
Yes,
Yes,
karate men.
it's the karate men hang out.
Yeah. I just like that detail. Like, come to this restaurant. It's where all the karate men hang out.
No, he says it's where a lot of karate types hang
hang out,
out.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important
But
distinction
that's
between
why
karate men and karate
He's now
types.
covered in leafy greens and bruises and stuff, so he couldn't possibly be seen out in the restaurant part. So
Right.
he's
No.
hanging out in the kitchen, and she comes back there, and for some reason
He doesn't tell her.
he
what
doesn't
happened.
tell her. I don't understand why. And then she basically goes into mode of like, well, anyone who has your skills is
Yeah.
still kind of a suspect. And he's
Could
like,
be you.
yeah, I'm aware. And she's like, and you don't want to tell? No, I bumped
No.
into a trash can, so I'm gonna have to go get cleaned up.
Yeah.
And
And
she's like,
then-
okay, which is weird because this seems like all right. Here comes the force of one. He's got rid of the cops, and now he's gonna go do his murdering.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Cut to next day. A tournament is about to start.
Yeah.
Now There's a brief scene where Ron O'Neal confronts her. Well, I'm sorry. First, she has a flash of momentary where she's like, "Fuck no, I'm skipping a scene." They go.
She picks up the secretary. Like they're
They-
okay.
no,
There's a scene at the police station.
They pick up some other kid. Like they
oh
catch,
yeah, they've been
they catch
picking up
some-
all the skateboarder kids.
Yeah, they picked up a skateboarder and they picked up this other kid and they're holding him and they're basically like, he's like, oh yeah, and he basically puts us onto the first skateboarder kid that we ever saw.
Yeah.
And he's like, so they basically make their way back to the sporting goods place. They're just about to go in there. Not Chuck Norris, he's not with them.
No.
It's her and I think schlubby guy who didn't want to do the karate thing.
Yes.
Are like gonna investigate the sporting goods place and then
Moskowitz.
Ron O'Neal just comes out of nowhere and is like, oh hey. Yeah, I picked up this other kid, and he led me here, too, so I think we got the same information at about the same time. But, hey, I've already checked the place. It's clean, so we should just leave.
Yeah.
And then...
They're also looking for wax because
Yeah,
they
'cause
figured out that they had wax under their fingernails
And Rollins says, "Oh, there's no wax here. No, not a stitch of wax or
no,
whatever.
not a speck of wax. Can't find.
They've
any.
also gone with this...
Not a scratch of wax."
There's a whole thing we're also skipping where, like, the Emmy was like...
They had wax under the fingernails.
Well, yeah, wax on the fingernails is like it's paraffin wax. You might use it on skis or stuff like that. And it's like, and she's like, so skis, really? Yeah. And she's
Is there
like,
a reason it might be red? And he's
yeah,
like, "Well, it's
it's
different
color
kinds of
coded
wax:
for
red, blue,
yeah,
green."
It's
Yeah.
color coded for the temperature that you're going to be using it at. So I guess water skis.
He's holding a book this entire time.
Right.
Like it looks like Grey's Anatomy or something.
I love that show.
Shut up. And she's like, "Oh, does it say that in that book there?" And she grabs it and he goes, "No, my ski lessons."
Ha! Slam the book.
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, so they kind of have this like thing about wax that they're looking for. So they show up. Ron O'Neal's like, "Nope, place is clean. This is the guy. He owns it." And I don't know. They were closed temporarily and reasons. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we should leave. Let's
Everything's
go.
fine.
And then she's like, she has a brief flash of like, oh yeah, it was Ron O'Neal who got the signatures and everything for disposing the drugs. But fuck, and he's already here. He's probably in on it. And so she's like, all right, Moskowitz, we gotta leave.
Yeah,
like,
let's just leave.
We gotta leave. And then so there's a scene where she's talking to the lieutenant and like, hey,
What if it's one of us?
what if it's one of us? Like, is in on this? And he's like, what? And she's like, well, look, it's just a hunch right now. I'm not gonna say any names because I have this feeling. And he's like, get me proof. You better be 100% sure. And at this point.
Also, there's only 3 of them left.
Yeah.
so-
Well, at this point, like if you've seen a movie, you're like, oh fuck, the lieutenant's in on it.
Yeah.
Like because
Yes.
he's kind of been acting weird and shady and like Jimmy stewarding a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's just stammering a lot.
He's
and
got
it's
a
like
weird look
It's-
and a weird pattern of speech.
This is just him.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
him.
It's just
good
the way
old,
he is.
good old
Yeah.
Mr.
But
Gallagher.
he's not part of it. He just like you better be damn sure before you accuse anyone. And he's like I came across this before where someone said a name and nobody ever trusted him ever again, even when he was absolved of his crimes.
Yep.
But anyway, so she's like, okay, let me go get some proof and I'll get back to you.
She bumps into Ron O'Neal again.
Yeah, she comes out of the office and he's just like, hey, and she's like, oh yeah. He's like, hey, I just wonder if you could get me a ticket for the karate
Can I
tournament.
go to the fights with you? And she's like, nah, I'm going with Chuck Norris's assistant, but I'll see you there.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, all right.
Okay, but you can give me a ticket. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like she goes to pick up Harriet at the thing. We're going like Chuck Norris is like I said, from the moment you think like he's gonna go on his rampage, he's out of the movie, and it becomes her like doing cop stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And he's like at the tournament going like, is she here? Is anybody here?
I mean,
What's going on?
It's notable. He is not the top billed person
No.
in this movie.
No.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he is definitely not the main character.
No, he is.
At
he is
all.
just a force of one. He is just a when you need something to happen.
I think she's the force of one
I don't know
because all the other cops died,
Well, okay,
Yeah.
that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or crooked. Yeah. So.
But she picks up Harriet, and do they go to Ron O'Neal's house?
Yeah, she does.
Yes.
She picks up Harriet,
Okay.
and Harriet's eating again, and
Yes.
she's like, "We better hurry, like you're kind of late." And she's like, "I was busy doing stuff." And it's like, "Oh, but we have to make a stop." And
I wasn't clear whose house this was,
yeah,
but
she goes to Ron O'Neal's house and
Okay.
is poking around,
Yeah.
and like going through everything, like going through his medicine cabinet, like I'm going to find evidence, and lo and behold, she actually does. It's like it's one of those wax containers with the cocaine on the top, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Holy shit!" Taste test. It tastes like aspirin. It's cocaine.
Yep.
Um,
But then Sporty Goods Man is there,
Yeah,
and
with a gun.
has a gun on her, and is just like, "All right, come with me." Now, in their training scene earlier,
Mm-hmm.
it was all set up. Chuck Norris was specifically teaching her how to deal with someone who has a gun to your back.
Yeah, they were all doing that training, but she got the most time with it.
Right.
Like,
And you're like,
it's different if it's at your head or the
Yeah.
middle of your back or your small of your back.
and you're like, okay, well, here's where this is going to come into play. But it doesn't.
Nope.
Not really, because
Nope.
what happens is Harriet is the one who intercepts them
Yep.
and
Sweet
distracts him
Harriet.
long enough for her to turn around and, and get the drop on him, basically. To which they sit him down at the dining room table, which is full of drugs.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't go to that room first. Because
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh, look, all the drugs.
All the drugs are here. And they just handcuff him to the chair, and then she just tells Harriet to keep a gun on him, and she's called for backup,
Yep.
which she hasn't.
Well,
Nope.
we don't see it.
She says backup's on the way, but
Yeah, I don't know.
this does not get
so
resolved.
we were skeptical.
Yes.
But before the next scene happens, when the next scene happens, it's obvious that she did get police involved.
Sure.
So I'm gonna take her word for it
Okay.
that she did send back up to that apartment and that Harriet wasn't sitting there holding a gun on unnamed thug 3 for 65 hours.
Right.
And I apologize, because she is pretty much the main character of the movie. That I've been calling her Lady Cop, but her name is fucking stupid. It's Mandy Rust. That is a dumb name.
Mandy Rust.
I mean, because Mandy in the 70s cop movie is just kind of dumb.
Uh-huh.
But then, I don't know.
Rust.
It just doesn't...
It's not a tough name.
It's not a tough name.
That's like you're an old cowpoke.
Right. Yeah. It really kind of is.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, but now it's fight night.
Yeah, it's fight time, and Sparks is all cocained up,
Yes.
and so it becomes a brawl very quickly, including every time the ref tries to step in the way, he's just pushes the ref out of the way.
He pushes the ref out of the way twice. And this, I mean, it's cool but also stupid the way this
absolutely.
it presents itself, because Chuck Norris is just getting his ass beat, and he looks up at Sparks and then has a flash of when he got attacked by the ninja in the parking lot and realizes it's the same pair of eyes.
Well, he also has really weird eyebrows too,
Sure.
so it's a combination.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has that momentary thing. Sparks goes into full cocaine rage because we see cops starting to do the Blues Brothers thing, where they're coming in every entrance of the
Yes.
arena, and so he's like, "Fuck." And yeah, he's just in full on well, I'm in front of thousands of people, but I'm still gonna murder Chuck Norris here. So he attempts to do that. The referee tries to get away, and then the referee just gets clocked, full on punched. And it's why there aren't 20 dudes streaming into the ring breaking this up. I don't know.
Where are
but-
the officials?
Yeah, but anyway, he tries to murder Chuck Norris, and then is just fuck that, I'm out.
Yeah. See, the way that you think this is going to go down, because you've seen later movies and you start to put together your own things, is that he's going to be so coked up that at some point he's just beating Chuck Norris down and whispers in his ear, "I killed your boy. Now fight me." And it's
Yep.
okay, now Chuck Norris has to
Right.
kick his head off in the middle of this ring, and that's how it's going to end. No, he goes running out of there. The cops deal with Ron O'Neal.
Well, Ron O'Neal is also clued into this and takes an old lady hostage, and then Chuck Norris is the one that disarms him from the ringside.
Yeah.
Jumps out of the ring and kicks the gun out of his hand, and then all the cops basically surround him.
Yeah. So Sparks has run outside and takes a valet out of the car that he was parking and throws him aside. And to this valet's credit, he is not going down like this. He gives 2 attempts to get the car back, which is just hilarious because Sparks just keeps coke punching him to death.
And 2 more attempts than any other valet in the history of valet has ever given.
Yeah. So he gets in a car, and at first, you don't realize he's doing a 3-point turn, but at first he just turns it at a 90-degree angle and looks like he's going to drive it into the arena. And I was
Which is full of people spilling out of it now, because they're
I was like, oh shit, what are we doing here? But no, he just turns around and takes off. And Chuck Norris runs out and
he grabs onto the driver's side window, is trying to choke him until he I love this shot because Chuck Norris is hanging on the side of the car as this guy is peeling out of this parking lot, and then there's just some dude with a tray full of food and popcorn or shit, and basically just Chuck Norris just clocks this guy and falls off the car,
Yeah.
and which this guy is what, and all this stuff goes everywhere.
yeah. And so Mandy Rust comes out and is like, "Hey, what's happening?" He's like, "Time to murder that son of a bitch," and he just steals a police car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets in a patrol car.
And at first she's just well, that's what he's gonna do, and then she's like, I should probably go with him, and jumps in the seat with him.
Yep.
And then they have a very poor driving sequence where he's like some swerving through traffic, but then all of a sudden it's like they're in the middle of nowhere. Like they just go from like downtown wherever this is to
Well,
like
Santa Marita or whatever it is, I'm sure is nowhere near anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah, but they just like all of a sudden they're on like mountain roads like
It looks like they're driving up the road to go to that animal sanctuary from that blaxploitation movie where it was just out in the middle of
where
nowhere.
Pam Grier got murdered.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, Chuck Norris just fucks up and gets pushed down a ravine basically to
Yeah.
where the car's kind of stuck.
But we didn't hire Chuck Norris for car stunts. We hired him for kicking faces.
Yeah, I mean
Damn
He
it.
he had missed a few turns before that, so it was showing off that like he probably shouldn't be driving.
No.
But he does,
He
and
should
then
be kicking ass.
Yeah. And he orders her out of the car and is just like, I'm going to get unstuck and block the road. Because apparently it's a dead end. And it is because Sparks has just gone to the drug house and just gleefully runs out with the box of drugs. He's just like, woohoo!
and it's still like the
Is it a
evidence
box of drugs?
Yes, it's
Or
still in
is
the
it-
evidence box.
Or is it now a box of money? No,
No.
it's a box of drugs.
It's a
That's
box of
right.
drugs.
Yeah, it's definitely a box of drugs.
When
He
he
says-
he said the $1 million that's in there,
Yeah.
and I thought, so there's $1 million in that box? No, there isn't. But
But yeah.
movie millions.
No, it turns out to
but
be
no,
drugs.
it was drugs.
Yeah. So he's got that, turns back around to go back the other way, but by now Chuck Norris has unstuck the car and is blocking the road, to which he immediately crashes into, and now it's fight in the middle of nowhere time.
Mm-hmm.
And this might have been a good fight had it not been in fake slow-mo.
Yeah.
Because the fake slow-mo is very much showing off how they're pulling their punches.
Yeah,
But they
and it's most of the fight.
Yeah.
It's weird.
but they fight. I mean, it's not really a way to talk about what they do, except that like
Punch
Chuck,
and kick.
Yeah,
and
Chuck
punch and
Norris
kick.
eventually gets him down and is like ready to murder him, and then she comes running up the hill with her gun drawn. And is like, no, don't murder him. And then he's like, all right, I'm not going to murder him.
I won't murder him.
I will say, fake. Even though it was fake slow mo, that particular moment, he's about to punch Bill Wallace's face into the dirt,
Yes.
and the moment where she starts running out is the moment they snap out of fake slow mo.
Right.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is neat.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's fake slow mo. It's just that they didn't shoot like proper slow mo. Like they didn't shoot
Yeah.
enough frames per second.
Shitty slow mo.
Yeah, shitty slow mo.
Yeah.
Shlow mo.
It's a whole other thing. But yeah, he's like, all right, fine, I'm not going to kill him, and then does the like, I'm exhausted, turns around and starts walking towards her, and then
He's going to brain Chuck Norris with the box of drugs.
right. And Chuck Norris just like like he's got the box of drugs over his head. Chuck Norris turns and kicks the drugs in. Well, actually, he throws them at him.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris turns and like does one of his famous roundhouse high kicks into it, shatters it, which just makes cocaine rain.
It showers him with
Coke
all
rain.
the drugs.
Yeah.
And then Chuck Norris he uses his new cocaine powers to fucking murder Sparks to death.
Yeah.
He just reverse neck breakers him
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
dead.
I thought he was
kinda
going to
li-
like drop a diamond cutter on him, but
Yeah.
I like this move.
It's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's like a human crucifixion sort of like because he's got him like by the head with
Yep.
like his arms out like "Ah!" And then just
snaps the neck.
Yep.
and she just kind of stands there and is like, oh, you know,
Well, that fucking happened.
I mean, he did hit you with the drugs.
Yeah, he did throw cocaine all over you.
Yes.
and then she's just like, oh no, and they embrace and credit
a-
like bam credits.
It's a super slow-mo embrace that lasts the entire closing credits. Yeah, and
And
he
she-
is covered with drugs.
Yeah,
Like, they're both now so high.
Yeah. Just rotten with drugs.
Yes.
Lousy with drugs.
Yeah.
well, we don't know what all the drugs were in there. I mean, it could have been the heroin and the cocaine, so he was maybe just kind of speedballing. Like,
I think it was all of them.
well, I'm saying like he might have been like just kind of normal. Like
You think all the drugs counteracted each
yeah,
other?
yeah, I think
evened
that's how
out?
it works. Yeah, it's like
The
yeah.
more
put
different
the
drugs you
acid
take.
and the base together, you get water. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That does make sense.
Your logic checks out.
Yeah, I took chemistry.
I can tell.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, Force of One's done.
it is one and
A
done.
Force of Done.
Good one.
Yeah.
Rating time.
Yeah.
No Stargrove.
Nope.
Nope.
Although the soundtrack, okay, first of all, whatever the company logo is at the beginning of this, American whatever, is-
American cinema, I
Yeah.
think is what it is.
it's funky and it's awesome, and I've never seen it before. and
It's got rad music
more.
behind it.
yeah, and some of that music kind of appears later, like during some of the car chases. It's the good like 70s, like that. But
Yeah, they also like certain times when their people are punching, you get the pew.
yes, there's a lot of 70s-ness to this, and weird like every time they're in the department store, it's like Christmas music on a xylophone. Like they have their own xylophonist. I don't know,
I
but
think it's called a xylophonist.
a xylophonist.
No, it's a xylophoner.
Oh, he xylophoned it in.
Boom.
Yeah.
Take that.
A xylophile.
Oh,
No, those are fans.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of a xylophone.
I study all the xylophones. I'm a xylophile.
You're a xylophilologist.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a degree in it. I mean,
Well, you're not a doctor of xylophilology.
I have a PhD.
I almost made it.
I have a
Man,
PhD minor.
You guys are just making noises now. You're speaking in tongues.
I almost got that word out without cracking.
A xylophone.
Yeah.
Doctor of
Yeah.
There's a lot of this.
xylophilology. There we go. Xylo-
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
xylophones.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I guess we have to do ratings. now.
Yes, that's what we do here at the end of the first half.
Man, this is a tough one to rate. I guess I've started talking, so I'm committed to now giving one. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, we can just talk.
Like there are things about this movie that are pretty good. The movie as a whole is very meh.
Yeah.
I think I kind of give it a single bag. Like I'm like, it's not bad. It's just like boring and not what you think it's going to be with a name like that. Like I said, some of the filmmaking is actually pretty decent, but then like they'll have weird things where it's like, hey, let's watch this entire karate match, and I'm like, I don't wanna.
And honestly, like
Accurate.
when this group says, "I don't want to watch the rest of this karate match," that's saying something.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that it's shot particularly bad.
No. Although the sound effects seem to be missing.
Yeah.
So every impact doesn't feel impactful.
Right.
I mean, I think it probably has a little bit to do with the mix that's
Yeah.
on Amazon. It's
Yeah.
bad. Like I mean, it is completely flat. I mean, it purports to be in 5.1. It's not. It is just in 0.1 because it is like it is just one sound at all volumes.
Right.
I think the worst offender of is that I guess he was a known quantity of some kind, like a fight announcer dude or something, like because he's credited as himself,
right.
like making a special appearance at the end.
Yeah.
Who literally has the Michael Buffer microphone, and it's still like. I'm like, did you just mic the PA and
Yeah.
not the fucking mic?
Yeah, they just mic'd the arena. They
I'm
didn't
like-
take it off the board. Or
I'm like, what the
anything.
fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, literally, if anyone in this movie, because like,
I think they thought that was going to work with
Yeah.
the microphones that they had, you know, on the cameras or whatever, and it just didn't.
yeah, and it's just weird because like the bad Foley mix with dialogue and everything is prevalent because like there were certain points at this time where I was like in this movie where I was like, are they just going to go everywhere there's crazy background noise? Because like there's this drone thing that's happening in the police station like all the time. Like it's this telephone pool, typewriter, just like
Police
sound
station noises.
police
yeah.
station noise that is just little too high. Even when you're like in the lieutenant's office, like God fucking damn it,
It's
there's
a
noise in the background.
6-minute track on
And
the
then-
sound effects LP.
And then like it's like Chuck Norris goes to the pigeon coop guy, and I'm like, what the fuck, movie? Like, are you just gonna go everywhere that has the worst background sounds known to man?
yeah.
And that again, that could be a fault
It's-
with the Amazon mix. Obviously, the ring announcer guy, that is a fault of the movie making.
Sure.
But
I don't think any level could have helped that because it was
Yeah.
just, it's like okay,
Right.
but yeah, it's not awful. It's just nah, don't bother.
yeah,
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was fine.
Chuck Fine.
Well, I can't help but compare it to last week's movie because it is the same director, and it does kind of have the same problem of the movie is about a thing, but the movie is not focusing on that thing. It's focusing on everything but that thing. But I think this is a better made movie than Deadly Force is. I mean, we've talked about Chuck Norris movies a lot, and we all kind of agree that Lone Wolf McQuaid is where he starts to get good. Everything before it kind of sucks, but you never know. And I think if I recall correctly, this is one of the better early Chuck Norris movies. It's not great, and it's
This is
weird.
like his third, I think.
He'd done a few, but he's not the star of it. He's a co-star, so you go into it in retrospect, and you're thinking, "Man, Chuck Norris is not in this a lot." But at the time, this was like a break. This was like, "Oh, Chuck Norris is doing stuff." So I can give it a single jocks. I think it's worth watching. It's got that kind of 70s vibe that I like, and it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see last week's movie, but I can agree with the one jocks
Okay.
rating for this one. Yeah, it's got that 70s like naturalistic dialogue thing going on, which I think they tried to push too far with the background noise through so many scenes and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's just strange because like Chuck Norris looks weird in this. There's no other
does.
way to put it. He's like
Yeah.
super blonde and just like doesn't look like him. And you think like Invasion USA that and like Lomo Fuquade's only like 4 years later, and he looks like a different person.
I think
In
he was.
that.
So I think in these early movies he was in karate shape
Right.
and
Oh, yeah.
not in looking like a movie star shape. And also, he was still having a rabid Wolverine cut his hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
His hair was
His hair's
weird,
rough,
man.
yeah.
He looks exactly the same in the Octagon, as I recall, because
Yes.
that's like a year later. And
Yeah.
he's still like, dude,
Yeah.
you look weird.
I mean, all the 70s movies, he looks pretty much the same. It's just, do you get a mustache or not, basically. He's still the shaggy-haired guy. But yeah, it's like his body doesn't have any water in it.
Yeah.
He's like all, he's like you
He's
were saying,
not-
he's karate shape.
Yeah, he's not like super muscled, but he's very lean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lean. Yes. He's
Sinewy.
not bulky.
Yeah,
Sinewy.
sinewy. And he's like for
He's
his later
light.
movies, he puts on, a little bit more muscle and looks more
Yeah.
like an action star.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, he's not even in this very much. It's more of like a detective movie almost, but it's like you kind of don't care about the mystery at all. So that kind of
Oh,
hurts
it's
it.
We know
super
what the
obvious.
mystery is.
Yeah.
So early. Because the movie makes a point to make it sound like karate men are rare. Like there's only 7
Yeah.
of them on the planet. And like 6 of them you are like, these guys are all right. And then there's one who's like shitty from the get-go. And you're like,
Well,
it's
obviously.
that guy.
Obviously, it's old Superfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, in the sort of early in the movie when they're destroying the drugs, Mandy Rust, short-haired cop lady,
Uh-huh.
short-haired cop lady Mandy Rust is signing this so they're signing chain of evidence papers,
Yeah.
and they're all loosey-goosey as shit about it. So immediately there's missing cocaine or smack or something.
Sure.
But then when they're doing the burn, Rollins looks at her when she signs because she's using his chest as a place to sign.
Yeah.
And he just looks directly at her, and they focus on him.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at her, and you're like, okay, well, yep.
He's
There's-
stealing the
yeah.
drugs. And that's what, it's super obvious where this movie's going.
People hadn't seen as many movies in the 70s.
You're right.
Sure.
We didn't have good movie knowledge.
Movies were rare.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of. I don't think we talked enough about the disheveled lieutenant.
No, we didn't.
Like his super loose tie and just like his kind of like. Seems almost like he's drunk, but that's just like a normal speech pattern for him type thing.
He's like Jimmy Stewart Light. It's
Yeah.
real weird.
There's something really endearing about him to me.
Yeah.
But
So
in
he's
general, it's like this movie. It's all about the little side stuff to me, and not the main plot itself,
Yeah.
and not the main things that I should care about because the fights are not good.
They're
you
not.
know?
They're not bad. It's just we're still in an era where no one knew what to do yet,
Yeah. Yep.
and of an era where there weren't that many movie fights like this to begin with. So people probably felt, kickboxing. No one's seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, hey, it's like boxing, but all of a sudden that guy got kicked in the face. And
Yeah.
that's enough for people to go,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. Guy got kicked in the stomach.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yes.
There's a lot of stomach kicking in this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot more than like hero roundhouse kicks.
Yes. It's all
And they
about-
look rough.
Yeah.
They look like these dudes actually got fucking kicked.
Yes. When he fights Ninja Man in the parking lot, like those two are trying to murder each other.
Superfoot.
Yes.
His name is Superfoot.
You're right. Sparks.
Put some respect on his name.
But anyway, that's all I have to say about that movie.
You're the only one left. PJ.
I know. I'm torn between a jocks and a bag.
The BMFcast story.
I don't know really where to put this movie. This is another one of those that I kind of wish I could just go, 0.
It does kind of feel like that.
Because I don't think it really needs to be seen, but it's not that bad. It's fine. It's Chuck fine. And I don't mean that like in a mean way. It's just,
It's the definition of what Chuck Fun is. You can watch it.
it is a movie that you can watch. And
When
it's
it's
not
over,
really
you
going to
won't be angry.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just going to err on the side of kindness and give it a Jocks. A single Jocks.
Like how we all Mackie aside because he wasn't here last week. We all reversed our rating from last week.
Did we?
Yes, everyone zeroed out Mr. Paul Aaron's filmography.
I'd rather watch last week's movie than this week's movie.
I would
Again.
not.
Yeah.
I would choose this over that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. So, I think we are doing something a little bit different with the BMFcast. We
Yeah, you guys
just
are gonna
this
love
week.
this.
we haven't watched shit
We
to
haven't
do a
done
second
shit.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will admit I've been playing a lot of video games because we're
Good for you.
we're doing a
We have
Yeah,
a video
no
game
quarters
podcast
next
to
week.
do next
Yeah.
week.
so I've
Oh
been
shit!
playing
I should
catch
play a
up.
video game.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play
However-
one tonight.
Yeah. And John Wick comes out this weekend.
Yep.
Yep. So
Our next extra is going to be that.
yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
basically make our next extra is gonna be a spoil cast on John Wick 3 Parabellum.
And we'll put it out there for everybody.
Okay.
It just
Why
Out of
not?
the kindness of our hearts.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you when it's over, if you like it, then you could go to patreon.com/BMFcast and tip us $1
Yeah. Speaking of which, first episode of Doctor Who You available for free.
for free.
So check it out.
Normally that is what, a $5 level?
That
On
is
the
our
$5 level.
premium content.
And there are over 50
For
episodes
free.
to choose from now.
Yes.
So
You could pay $5 and get 50 episodes. That's like
10 cents an episode, yes.
10.
Oh, he can add fast.
It's the
too.
price of a cup of coffee.
No, it's
Nine.
not.
It's the price of a cup of coffee
If you
in
make it
New
at
York
home.
Yes.
in the
40 years ago.
in the break room at your
If-
work.
I'm pretty sure it'd be a cup.
40 years ago.
If you made it at home with like Folgers, that'd be the price of a cup of coffee.
Right, that's what I mean. Folgers.
Mm.
Fill it to the rim with brim.
No. Brim's an instant
No,
coffee,
that's
right?
not.
I don't
that was
know.
not the. No.
What? That's brim. Sanka.
10 episodes.
Sanka was the instant
Sanka.
coffee.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
Sanka.
much.
Yeah, Sanka's the just drop the crystals in the water and
Yeah.
enjoy that shit. Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah.
Coffee talk, you guys.
Yeah.
coffee.
This is what happens when we don't have a second half.
That's correct. But
We're just trying to give you value by
Patreon,
Right.
yeah. Patreon.com/BMFcast. You can put some money in our tip jar there and get all of that amazing content for slightly more than free.
Right.
Barely more than free.
Yes.
I mean,
Also,
plus you're just supporting the main show. I mean,
Right.
that's really why you're there. The other stuff's just bonus.
yeah, we're working towards that Rolls Royce that we always wanted. Right? We're still doing that?
No,
Oh, fuck.
That was never the plan.
that was never a thing.
I already sent in the down payment, so
Well, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it was never real. It was like a phantom.
we're going to have some problems. So, contribute to the Patreon because we're going to need to pay off this Rolls Royce.
Help save BJ's legs from being broken by
Right. Save my credit
the
rating.
Rolls Royce loan shark.
Yeah, that's how they roll in the Rolls Royce.
It is.
right.
Yeah.
You could also help us out by buying a T-shirt. BearsuitStudios.BigCartel.com is where we house the T-shirt enterprise. Limited edition silver shirts that are gorgeous and will look gorgeous on you and are quality. They're great. You should get one.
I can say with confidence they are the sexiest T-shirt ever created by man.
That's a bold statement.
It's true.
So I mean, wait, I got to understand this.
Okay.
Even if I wear it, I mean, like, is it dependent on who's wearing it?
No.
No.
No, just the shirt. The,
The
shirt,
shirt
itself.
itself will make you
Oh.
a sexy motherfucker.
Okay.
So our T-shirts were actually created by a woman.
Then
Yeah.
sexy.
Plot twist.
Yeah. I was not referring to its manliness. I'm just saying the shirts.
Well, you said created by man. So
mankind.
Oh, mankind. Okay.
Yeah.
Humankind.
The old
I-
school, like, you know,
I
it
did not
includes all
know
of
that
us, man.
Mick Foley was involved in the making of our T-shirts.
Could have been. There's only one way to find out. Buy one.
Buy one. See if it comes with a free Sacco.
You know who made it? Mick Foley.
This is the worst.
It is. It really is. We
Why
should
are
probably
We were
Why
trying to
are
get
we
out
still
fast.
here?
I don't know.
We're just
All right.
babbling now.
BMFcast.com. Check the right-hand side. That will have all of the buttons to take you to all of the rest of the socials, including the Twitters and Facebooks and all that. But do all those things. Come hang out in the Discord. Buy a shirt. Patreon. Subscribe to the YouTubes. Dong that bell. All that stuff.
I mean, with permission.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
We're saying
we're
that
giving consent to
yeah.
dong our bell.
Oh.
Yes,
Okay.
dong our bell. 9105-JAX-BMF or 910-556-9263 is the phone number to call to leave a message.
Right.
Operator is standing by.
By operator, we mean an electronic person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't want to scare people off. Like, I don't want to call and talk to somebody. No, it's just,
You won't.
We don't want to talk
Don't
to you
worry.
either.
We
You
are
will not
answering
have
the
to
phone.
talk to
We
us.
want you to talk to our
Trust me.
answering machine, but we
I
don't.
never answer any phone.
All right. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yes.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. See you next week with more content,
Good night.
motherfuckers.
Yay, content.
Yay, content. That's you.
Oh, good. We're back to
Yeah. Brought it around.
Yeah.
I'm just going to spray a drink everywhere for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know how drinking works. I am a robot.
Comedy spit take.
I did.
I didn't spray like a perfect spit take
Is that correct that next week is no quarters? The week after?
Next
week?
week.
Next week. Next week is no quarters.
Yes, next week. No quaters.
Somebody said something funny and it made me spit out my drink yesterday at work.
I've done an intentional spit take, but yeah.
I think that was the first time in a long time I've legitimately spit out a drink because somebody.
If I'm outside somewhere, like any outdoor party, if I can figure out a way for it to naturally happen, I will give a spit take just for shits and giggles. I'm not gonna spit take in like someone's house. Oh, sorry about that.
Do it. Do it.
All right, I'll do it next time over at yours.
Do it.
That's how you get ants.
Well, if you get ants, Taro Ant Killer,
That's how you get uncles.
Yeah, that should.
Zodiac motherfucker approved. So
Yeah, they all get their feet stuck and then rip their limbs off.
this is the bait. It's not the glue traps. So I wanted them to take it back to the nest and genocide the entire fucking ant colony. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I
Which-
think that was more zodiacal.
Which kind is it again?
Taro?
Tarot.
Terro. It's like terror, but
Yeah.
Less
Without
Rs.
the less R.
All right.
so far so good.